The nerds then kept pointing out that since 1979, the NBA had awarded 50% more points on a shot from beyond 23 feet 9 inches. So gingerly, teams started trying more three-pointers. Then boyish-looking Stephen Curry introduced a conceptual breakthrough reminiscent of baseball slugger Babe Ruth's nearly a century before, just as Ruth became the first hitter to routinely swing for the fences in 1918 to 1920. Steph Curry realized that there was all the room in the world on the basketball court to get off undefended three-pointers. He was willing to back up to 30 feet or farther. So just as Ruth willingly traded off more strikeouts for more home runs, Curry accepted longer shots to get more open ones. Three-point revolution proved so successful, the NBA developed a nice problem. At least as viewed from the dreary perspective of 1999. Players got so good at shooting from long distances that scoring reached silly heights during the season just ended, such as in the last NBA All-Star game with its absurd final score of 211 to 186. Commissioner Adam Silver is widely rumored to have then sent a secret directive mid-season to his refs, telling them to let defenders play a little rougher without calling so many fouls against them. Right? Sports leagues adapt to changing conditions. The daughters of single moms tend to obsess over how to catch a man, while the daughters of wealthy dads who stay married to their moms want to please their fathers by excelling at what he is interested in, sports. So as Chris Rock said, as a father, you only have one job to do: keep your daughter off the pole. For example, women pole vaulters tend to be exceptionally beautiful. They tend to be girls who would normally be cheerleaders. Right? The acrobatic demands are similar, except that their dads make so much money that they can afford sizable pole vaulting runways in their backyards. The NBA, WNBA, however, is small time, brings in only 2% as much revenue as the NBA. Rookies like Clark are capped at a salary under $77,000 a year. So WNBA has a downscale athletic base that tends to be macho black women who are lesbians and like sport for its own sake, not because they want to please their dads, who they usually have not seen much of. Caitlin Clark is a typical upper middle-class white woman athlete with a 6'6" boyfriend of the type that predominated the Winter Olympics. Her father is a corporate executive, as was her mother, before she became a stay-at-home mom because her husband was making enough for the whole family. Not surprisingly, other WNBA players tend to hate Caitlin Clark and try to brutalize her. More surprisingly, NBA executives haven't come to their meal ticket's aid. WNBA players tend to have more diversity Pokemon points, being women, black, and lesbian. But sports lately have been gamed by brilliant MIT grads, so the sight of low-brow players being allowed to wreck the WNBA's big chance to finally cash in is particularly curious. Now, Caitlin Clark became the highest-scoring women player in NCAA history by introducing the Curry era to the women's game. It's the first time I've watched women's basketball. For example, she broke the women's scoring record last February on a 35-footer. At what point will Caitlin Clark's range become normal among women basketball players like home run hitting did after Babe Ruth showed it was possible, or will Clark's records remain outliers like Wilt Chamberlain's 100 points in an NBA game? So Caitlin Clark's scoring success has made her the most popular female college player of all time, as she led the under-talented, mostly white University of Iowa teams to consecutive NCAA final games in front of remarkably numerous TV audiences. Women's sports tend to be small but upscale because most women athletes tend to be the product of two-parent homes who have strong relationships with their jockish fathers.